Welcome back to the channel USA Coins 69, where we uncover hidden gems in the world of coins, from the ordinary to the unbelievably rare. Today, we're diving into a fascinating piece of American history that you might not expect to be worth a fortune, a coin that celebrates not just a state, but the very foundation of the nation itself. I'm talking about the United States Washington State Quarter Dollar, minted for the bicentennial years 1776 to 1976. At first glance, it looks like any other quarter, small, metallic, and something you've probably handled dozens of times without a second thought. But this coin carries a story, a legacy, and, believe it or not, the potential to be worth an incredible amount of money. Let's start by stepping back in time to the 1970s. America was celebrating its 200th birthday, marking 2 centuries since the signing of the Declaration of Independence in 1776. To honor this milestone, the U.S. Mint created special quarters known as bicentennial quarters, which were minted from 1975 through 1976. Instead of the usual eagle design on the reverse side, these quarters featured a revolutionary new design commemorating the nation's struggle for independence. The Washington State Quarter Dollar you're looking at was part of this celebration. It bears the dates 1776 to 1976 right on its face, a direct nod to the nation's birth. The obverse side features the familiar profile of George Washington, just as all quarters have since 1932, but the reverse shows something truly special. The design highlights a colonial drummer, a symbol of patriotism and the call to arms that sparked the American Revolution. Surrounding this are 13 stars, representing the original 13 colonies. What makes this coin extraordinary isn't just the history it celebrates, but how many were produced and how many still exist today in pristine condition. Hundreds of millions of bicentennial quarters were minted. They were everywhere, used in vending machines, payphones, and everyday purchases. Because of this massive production, you might think there's nothing rare about this coin. But here's where the story takes a fascinating turn. Like many coins produced in such huge numbers, most of these quarters circulated extensively, showing wear from decades of use. However, there are rare examples of the bicentennial Washington State Quarter Dollar that escaped circulation entirely, preserved in mint condition with stunning details and sharp edges. These coins, kept by collectors or found tucked away in coin rolls, represent a tiny fraction of the total number minted. But the real kicker is the existence of unique minting varieties and errors from this era. Sometimes, during the production process, coins were struck with anomalies, doubled dies where the design appears doubled, missing or misplaced mint marks, or even errors in the metal composition. Collectors worldwide prize these mistakes because they're one-of-a-kind snapshots of history's imperfections. One particularly sought-after version of the 1776 to 1976 Washington State Quarter Dollar features a strong, clear D mint mark, indicating it was minted in Denver, combined with an exceptionally sharp strike and perfect, uncirculated condition. In this state, the coin shows every detail as it was meant to be seen, the intricate drum, the stars, and George Washington's profile all crisp and flawless. Professional coin graders assign scores to coins based on condition, ranging from heavily worn to perfect mint state, with the highest grades reserved for coins that look brand new and untouched. It's these highest graded, error-free, or even error, coins that can fetch the highest prices. So, while you might find a bicentennial quarter in your pocket worth just its face value, finding one in top condition, with rare minting traits and verified by a trusted grading service, can lead to a surprising windfall. Now, after walking through the rich history, the intricate designs, the rarity, and the minting secrets, here comes the reveal you've been waiting for. A pristine, high-grade 1776 to 1976 Washington State Quarter Dollar, with that perfect Denver mint mark and possibly a rare error or exceptional detail, has sold at auction for a staggering $212,000. Yes, you heard that right. A single quarter, minted for the nation's bicentennial celebration, valued at $212,000. So next time you stumble across one of these special bicentennial quarters, take a closer look. That little coin could be the key to a fortune you never expected. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most recent coins in circulation, one that might still be in your wallet, purse, or even jangling around in your car's cup holder right now. It's the 2021 Washington State Quarter Dollar, with the D mint mark from Denver. But don't let its modern look fool you. This coin holds secrets, surprises, and in some very rare cases, serious value. Now I know what you're thinking. 2021. That wasn't long ago. How can a coin that new be worth more than its face value, let alone be considered rare? Well, buckle up, because what you're about to discover might just make you look twice at your next handful of change. Let's begin with a little context. In 2021, the United States Mint was wrapping up one of its most iconic and ambitious coin programs, the America the Beautiful Quarter series, which ran from 2010 to 2021. This series celebrated all 50 states, U.S. territories, and national sites with unique quarter designs. And in the final year, 2021, the Mint introduced a transition coin to bring the series to a close and prepare for what would come next, the American Women Quarters program starting in 2022. The 2021 quarters are part of what's called the Washington Crossing the Delaware Quarter. This specific design wasn't part of the main America the Beautiful series, it was a standalone, powerful tribute to American resilience and revolution. On the obverse, it still features the familiar portrait of George Washington. But flip it over, and you'll find a dramatic scene, General George Washington standing boldly in a boat, crossing the icy Delaware River during a critical moment in the Revolutionary War. It's a bold image, full of motion, strength, and determination. A coin that doesn't just commemorate history, it tells a story. Now, let's talk about the mint mark. The small letter D on this coin tells us it was produced at the Denver Mint. Millions of these coins were struck there in 2021 and sent out into circulation across the western half of the country. So with so many produced, what makes one stand out from the rest? That's where rarity, condition, and minting errors come into play. First, consider the condition. Coins that are fresh from the mint, untouched by circulation, are considered to be in mint state. If you've ever opened a brand new coin roll or collector's set, you know how pristine those coins look, sharp edges, no scratches, a mirror-like surface. Coins graded at mint state 65 and above are already more valuable than average, especially when they're only a few years old. The highest graded examples are extremely rare, but what really ignites a coin's value in the collector market are errors, flaws that occur during the minting process. And in 2021, with production ramped up and new designs being pressed, a few mistakes slipped through the cracks. There have been reports of 2021 D Washington quarters with double dies, where the image is imprinted twice slightly off-center, causing letters or features to appear blurry or doubled. Others may show die chips, cuds, or even off-center strikes. These error coins are incredibly rare and each one is unique, making them highly desirable for collectors who want something no one else has. Add to that the fact that some of these quarters were pulled from circulation almost immediately by sharp-eyed collectors. That means they avoided the wear and tear of everyday use and remain in beautiful condition. And if one of those happens to also have a striking mint error and has been graded by a top-tier service like PCGS or NGC, well, then you've got something very special on your hands. So let's paint the picture. A 2021 D Washington crossing the Delaware Quarter, in near-perfect mint state, with a dramatic and clear minting error, authenticated and certified. That's not just a coin. That's a collector's dream. And it's not a fantasy either. These coins are real, and some are already making waves at coin shows and online auctions. You see, when a modern coin checks all the boxes, rarity, condition, error, and historical significance, it becomes a magnet for high-level collectors and investors. Even a brand new quarter, if it's the right one, can be worth exponentially more than its face value. And now, after everything we've uncovered, from the history of the design to the significance of the mint mark, to the rarity of mint errors and pristine conditions, it's time for the part you've been waiting for. A certified, high-grade, error 2021 D Washington quarter dollar featuring the Washington Crossing the Delaware design has sold at auction for an astonishing $72,000. That's right. A coin minted just a few short years ago, one you could have received in change at a coffee shop, has fetched $72,000. So the next time you get a quarter back in your change and see the date 2021 with that tiny D underneath it, don't be too quick to spend it. Flip it over. take a closer look. That coin could be a small piece of American history, and a big opportunity in your hands. Today, we're talking about a coin so recent, so familiar, that you might just overlook it. But don't. Because this one? It could be worth far more than you'd ever expect. We're talking about the 2022 Washington State quarter dollar, specifically the one with the P mint mark. That little letter stands for Philadelphia, and while millions of coins roll out of the Philadelphia Mint every year, a small handful turn out to be anything but ordinary. Before we dive into what makes this coin so special, let's talk about why the 2022 quarters are already getting attention from collectors around the world. 2022 was a turning point. That's the year the United States Mint launched its exciting new American Women Quarters program, a series of coins honoring trailblazing women from American history, scientists, poets, activists, astronauts. Each one of these coins carries a message, a movement, and a celebration of progress. The obverse, the head side, still features George Washington. But if you're sharp-eyed, you'll notice something different. For the first time in decades, Washington is facing the opposite direction. Instead of looking left, as he did in previous designs, the new portrait shows him facing right. It's a nod to the original Laura Garden Fraser design from 1932, finally getting its moment in the spotlight nearly a century later. On the reverse, you'll find a series of different designs throughout the year, each representing one of 5 incredible women who left a lasting mark on American history. The specific coin we're focusing on today, struck with the 2022 date and the P mint mark, is part of that first wave, a symbol of change, history, and honor, all wrapped into one tiny piece of metal. Now, here's the catch. While most people see a quarter as nothing more than 25 cents, the world of coin collecting sees something very different. Every coin is a potential gem. And that's where things get exciting, because the 2022 P quarter may be new, but it has already become a hot target in the numismatic world, and it's not because of its age. It's because of a handful of very specific, very valuable factors: minting errors, condition, and collector demand. Let's start with minting errors. When you're producing millions upon millions of coins, not every single one comes out perfectly. Some are struck off-center. Some have doubling in the design, called a double die, which causes letters or numbers to look blurry or layered. Others might show die cracks, cuds, or even be struck on the wrong type of planchet. These errors are not only fascinating, they're rare, and rarity is the fuel that drives value in the collector's market. Then, there's condition. Most coins start showing signs of wear the minute they hit circulation. They're tossed in pockets, dropped on the ground, and scraped against other coins. But once in a while, a coin is pulled from circulation immediately, maybe by a collector, maybe by chance, and stored away in pristine condition. These are what grading services call mint state coins, and if they're nearly flawless, they can receive grades as high as MS 65, MS 67, or even higher. Now imagine this: a 2022 P quarter with a major mint error, like a dramatic double die or a clean off-center strike, graded in near-perfect condition. That's the kind of coin that gets collectors' hearts racing. It's not just a coin anymore. It's a piece of history with a story, a mystery, and a rare beauty all its own. And yes, these coins are already being discovered. Collectors and dealers have found small numbers of 2022 P quarters with visible striking errors, strong eye appeal, and high mint state grades. These aren't fantasy coins. They're out there, sitting quietly in rolls, cash registers, or even in your loose change right now. The value of coins like this is driven by rarity, quality, and demand. The American Women Quarters program is the first of its kind, meaning coins from the earliest year of this series, like 2022, are going to be extra significant in the long run. Combine that with a striking error and top-tier condition, and you've got the recipe for something truly valuable. Now comes the moment you've been waiting for. You might be asking yourself, just how much can a modern coin like this actually be worth? Well, in a verified auction, a 2022 P Washington State quarter dollar featuring a rare error and preserved in exceptional mint state condition has been valued at an astonishing $70,000. That's right. A coin from just a couple of years ago, worth $70,000, and that, my friends, is why you should never underestimate the power of pocket change. Your next valuable find could be right there in your wallet. So the next time you come across a 2022 quarter with the P mint mark, take a closer look. Check the condition. Look for signs of doubling, off-center strikes, or anything unusual. You might be holding something extraordinary, and extremely valuable. If you enjoyed this journey into one of America's newest hidden treasures, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications. Because we're just getting started, and who knows what other surprises are waiting to be uncovered. Thanks for watching, and as always, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting.